Make it 3 straight winning days, but I think I need a vacation. Let's talk some more basketball. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven, and we're back on a Thursday to talk some NBA action, and what a Wednesday it was. The whole Kyle Filipowski thing was absolutely insane. It really was. We won the bet still. I went on some rants on X and Discord. We'll talk about it a little bit more later. I'm not going to get too deep into it. It was just wild, everything that happened for it. But either way, 3 straight winning days this late in the season. We will gladly take it. We got a small 5-game slate, but that doesn't mean we can't get some winners. So any graphics you see in this video are from an app called OUTLIER, the best betting research tool on the market today. If you guys want to try it out, click that link below. You get a 7-day free trial. So let's get into it. And that means it is dad joke time. Again, sorry if I'm repeating one from before. We've been doing this for a few years now, but here we go. Yesterday, I saw an ad that said radio for sale, $1, but the volume stuck on full blast. I said to myself, well, you can't turn that down. All right, in this video, we are going to recap yesterday. Again, 2-2 day, but profitable, winning that only 1-unit play. And then we're going to talk injury report and back-to-back. So we got an interesting stat on all the teams on a back-to-back today, so stay tuned for that. And then we'll talk defenses versus the power forward position. Some of you guys asked about net ratings. I will give that out on the Friday video. I know some of you guys like that for spread bets and all that. And then, of course, we'll finish it with the best bets and the bets recap. So hit that like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment below to help this channel continue to grow. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, as we are on our way to 40,000 subscribers. Thank you guys for all the support. Let's have another good day. And that means we started out with the recap. All right, there it is. A winning 2-2 day. The Pistons -5. They just struggled in the first half. They really did. Cade Cunningham did not have a good shooting night. But the one time I needed him to miss, he actually made it. It was a banked-in 3. I would rather prefer overtime to see if we can cover. The Pistons win by 3. We do not cover. The Heat had some moments where they were making everything, but just was not impressed by the Pistons on the road there. Again, still won and one shot away from covering maybe. But either way, that was a loss. Kyle Filipowski. Whew. Well, if you don't know, I'll just give you the brief summary. Walker Kessler was out last night or the night before, and then all of a sudden he was ruled in. Okay, so then he plays. All of Filipowski's lines went down to like 19.5. Everyone's messaging me everywhere. Why are his lines down? All that. Kessler's in. They end up starting together. Filipowski plays 3 minutes and then never again until like 4 or 5 minutes left until halftime. It was really weird. I'm just gonna say that it was really weird. It felt like our money was being toyed with a little bit, and I don't usually feel like that. And so finally he plays more the third quarter, and then he sits on 22, doesn't even get brought back into like 4 minutes left in the game, and finally gets it done after breaking 2 free throws. But the whole thing was stressful. Let's just say that, because I take these bets to heart. I know you guys are tailing some of these and all that, but either way, it was weird. The Jazz got fined $100K already for a reason, and they're just doing some weird things. You will not see any more player prop overs from me for Jazz players, that's for sure. Quentin Grimes, over 3.5 dimes. Nice winner there. He ends with 5. He had 2 at halftime, and then had a couple right away in the third quarter. Got the job done for us. Tari Eason under 21.5 PRs. It was a great start, but then the Orlando Magic let him just get layup after layup, cutting to the hoop. This is a guy who usually shoots threes. He didn't hit 1 3, and he still went over this because he just kept getting easy buckets. It was just frustrating, and he needed like the last few minutes, I think it was, last 5 minutes to go over this one. So it was close, but either way, we win, but it was small profit. We'll take it. 267 and 219. Up right around 25 units now on the season. And there's the under player prop tracker, 74 and 49. So thanks for letting me rant a little bit, but that's what we got for the recap. Now let's talk the injury report. All right, here it is. We got 5 games. Knicks at Hornets. Brunson still out. Mitch Robb questionable again. Miles Bridges and LaMelo Ball are both probable. Do I trust it? Absolutely not. But right now, they are both probable the night before. Nets at Pacers. Cam Johnson looks like he is out due to rest, I believe it is. Needed a nap or something. And then Tyrese Halliburton is questionable. Raptors at Warriors. RJ Barrett, Jacoby Walter, and Jakob Poeltl are questionable. Although now that I say it, I think RJ Barrett is actually out. But either way, Bulls at Kings. Lonzo Ball is out. Domantas Sabonis is out as well. And then Bucks, Lakers, LeBron and Rui still out. Nothing new there. Luka is probable. So here's the crazy stat. We have 5 teams on the back-to-back already. So only 10 teams playing. 5 of them are on a back-to-back. So it's going to be a weird day. But here's the ATS record on 0 days rest. As you can see, the Knicks 2-8, Pacers 2-8-1, Bulls 2-8, Kings 3-10. Now, if you take away the Lakers, as you see in the note below, the top 4 teams right there, they have the 4 worst ATS records on back-to-backs. That's right, we are getting the 4 worst teams against the spread playing on back-to-backs, all playing today. So it's kind of weird. Lakers doing pretty well though at 7-3 ATS. So just want to point that out for you against for you spread bettors and money lines and all that. But that's what we got for the injury report and some back-to-backs. And now let's talk some power forwards. All right, we start out with the defenses giving up the most points to the power forward position. Again, you're not going to get a ton of info for today because there's only 5 games, but hopefully this helps you out the rest of the week and weekend. Warriors giving up the most points to the power forward position in the last 30 days, 26.4. And then we got Giannis, Miles Bridges, and Siakam as the 3 players over there on the right that are playing today. So take a screenshot. Hopefully this helps you out. Now let's check out the rebounds. And we got the Magic, 13 rebounds given up per game to the power forward. But the Raptors, Hornets, Nets, and Pacers are the 4 teams playing today. And then Giannis over there averaging 11.7, most of any power forward. Miles Bridges yet again, and Scotty doesn't know, 7.4 rebounds per game. And then there's all the rest of the teams and players. Now let's check out the assists, and we actually have one matchup. Draymond Green, 6.3 assists per game, facing the Raptors, 4.5. Not a crazy good matchup or anything, but at least we have one. So there's all the rest of them, as you guys can see, and that's all the over power forward info. Now let's check out the toughest power forward matchups in case you want to bet some unders. The Nets and Knicks giving up the fewest points per game to the power forward position, both playing today. And then we got the Bucks and Warriors in the top 3, fewest rebounds allowed, and the Bucks again giving up the fewest assists allowed to the power forward position. So that's what we got. If I could keep my voice going, that's what we got for all the research help when it comes to the power forward. Again, if you're new to the channel, we do this every single day, starting with point guards on Monday and end it with centers on Friday. So that's what we got for the research help. And now it's time for the best bets. All right, this first one takes us out to San Francisco, where the Warriors host the Toronto Raptors. Warriors minus 14.5 with a total of this one of 226. I have an underplayer prop. Give me Emmanuel quickly under 2.5 threes at minus 110 on ESPN bet. I got a half unit. I'm going to have 2 half unit plays here tonight. It's the night before, 5 games. Again, 5 teams on a back-to-back. I'll wait till it all shakes out in the morning. Maybe have a 1 unit play then. But let's talk quickly this season real quick. Yeah, you get it? Anyways, I almost took his under 17.5 points. I'm going to go with his under 2.5 threes, though. He's under this line in 15 of 27 games this year, 56%. Under in 6 of the last 9 games as well. And the 3 overs in the last 9 against the Wizards, Jazz, and the Bulls. So easier matchups. He's averaging 6.7 3-point attempts per game, shooting 37% from downtown. But he has played 9 games without RJ Barrett and with Scotty Barnes. Those are 2 of the high usage players on this team. So as you can see by this outlier screenshot, he's under this line in 5 of 9 games, averaging right around 2.5 per game, averaging 7 3-point attempts per game, playing around 28 minutes. Okay, so pretty good numbers there when you consider the matchup. So the Warriors, in the last 30 days, they are allowing the fewest points per game to the point guard position, allowing the fewest made threes per game to the point guard position, only 1.9 per game. Been great versus the pick and roll ball handler. Been great against pull-up shooting, which is what Quickly likes to do as well. They just don't give up a lot of easy looks. In fact, point guards recently versus the Warriors, Dame just hit 2 threes against them. Russ hit 2 threes. McBride went 3 for 6. He did go over. Malik Monk 0 for 5. Anthony Simons was the one player went absolutely bonkers and went 6 for 10. And then they just held Cade Cunningham to only 3 3-point attempts. He went 2 for 3. So again, I mean, we're looking at what 4 of the last 6 have gone under, and we're talking about a guy who's not going to jack up 10, 12. He's not a Dame type of volume or anything. So overall, the Warriors have given up the 4th fewest 3-point attempts to their opposition in the last 10 games. So this is a team that really, really plays well. If you watch them play, they rotate quickly, they get out to shooters quickly, they take you off your spot. So I do like this matchup. Again, you could take the points, but I'm going to go with the under 3s on this one. So hurry quickly and take his under 2.5 threes as my first best bet. All right, this next one takes us out to Indiana, where the Pacers host the Brooklyn Nets. Pacers -9. Total in this one, 226.5. I have it over. Give me Keon Johnson over 19.5. PRAs -125 on DraftKings. Again, half unit play here. It is slim pickings on this slate right now. But let's talk the last 10 games overall for Keon Johnson. If you don't know, he is starting for the Nets, playing decent minutes lately. He's over in just 4 of the last 10, but he's only averaging 17.8 PRAs per game. So if you look at that, it's not great. He's averaging around 25 minutes per game on 9.4 field goal attempts and 10.3 potential rebounds and assists. So again, it's not great numbers. You want to see a little bit higher than that, but Cam Johnson is out this game. Cam Thomas is done for the year. He has played 7 games without Cam Thomas and Cam Johnson. but with D'Angelo Russell. Now, I include these players because these are the high usage players. So 7 games without the Cam twins. They're not really twins. And with D'Angelo Russell, he's over in 5 7 games, averaging 24.29 PRAs per game, averaging just around 30 minutes per game as well. Now, these games were last month, but again, he's still playing. He's starting. I don't see too much difference here. Cam Johnson has not missed a lot of time, but he's averaging 14 field goal attempts per game and a total of 14 and a half potential RAs per game. So the volume is much higher. It is there, what you want to see to go over this line. And then you talk a matchup. Last 30 days versus the shooting guard position, Pacers giving up the fifth most points and the sixth most rebounds to the shooting guards and average for assists. So, I mean, this is a good matchup overall. Pacers also played at the 11th fastest pace in the last 10 games. The worry here is the blowout. Of course, it's the Nets. There's always a blowout here. You know, they may be without Halliburton, which could help this one, but honestly, I expect him because he's a young player and how the Nets have been playing. I expect him to play 25 to 30 minutes regardless. Again, predicting minutes is impossible at this point, and I'm picking a player on a team tanking, so who knows where this is going to go. But in games without Thomas and Johnson, the two Cam guys, where he's played 25 or more minutes, he's over in 9 of 11 games, averaging 25 and a half PRAs per game. So I do like this one. I expect this line to be 20 and a half, 21 and a half by tip off. I think we're going to get the minutes and get the volume, and I also like the matchup here. So give me Neon Keon over 19 and a half PRAs as my second and final best bet. Again, we're not going to force much because there's not much out right now the night before, but I'm not quite done. Let's talk one lean. All right, the one and only lean I have right now for you is the Bulls team total over 114 and a half. What a beauty, huh? Both Chicago and Sacramento are on back-to-backs here, but the last 10 games, Bulls are averaging the 11th most points per game, 117.6, over in 6 of the last 10. They have not scored less than 111 points per game. That's a great floor we have here, just a few points under this total. But they also have the 18th best offensive rate. Doesn't sound great, but for the Bulls, that's pretty good. They've been playing well. If you haven't been watching, Kobe White's been lighting it up. Josh Giddey, when he wasn't injured, has had some big games as well. Been a pretty lethal combo lately. And then the matchup. Kings are back to just sucking defensively. They absolutely are. 5 straight opponents have now gone over this line versus them. The Cavs, Grizzlies, Suns, Warriors, and Knicks. These 5 teams, how about averaging 125.2 points per game against them? They're also, the Kings are giving up the second most points off turnovers per game. They are struggling without De'Aaron Fox. More turnovers, just leading to some easy buckets. In a game where both teams are on a back-to-back, I think it's going to hurt defenses. All I care about here is the Kings defense. So I think the Bulls score some points yet again here. So give me the Bulls team total. Again, this is a lean. I have not made an official bet yet, but just want to kind of talk through one other bet with you guys as well. But that's what we got for the research help, the bets, and the lean. Now let's check out the recap. All right, there it is. The 2 bets so far. Emmanuel Quickly under 2.5 threes at minus 110 for a half unit. And then Keon Johnson over 19.5 PRAs, minus 125 for a half unit. I would play that at 20.5 as well. But that's what we got for the night before on an ugly slate. Hopefully, I can come up with a couple more bets in the morning. Again, any added plays will be in the pinned comments below on X and on Discord. With Discord, by the way, completely free. Go click that link in the description and come join us. So that's what I got. Thanks again. I appreciate all the support. Hope you guys have a great Thursday. Enjoy some March Madness, and we'll talk to you soon.